Hello, Rochester, and welcome to the very first edition of a very special summer show here on WRUR FM. I'm Ron Pappert, and with me is Mercyful Mike of the Metal Force, and we're inviting you to enjoy with us 2 hours of beautiful music played by the free world's best underground metal bands. Sonic Insanity, Full Thrash. And welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Ron Evil Eye Emperor Nor Pappert, and this is the first show here on WRUR called Sonic Insanity, Full Thrash, one of 2 special metal shows that will be broadcast weekly here at WRUR throughout the summer. So we have some good listening for you. Of course, there's good listening all the time here on WRUR 88.5. In the morning, we have jazz. At noon, we have folk music. We have Radio Unfair most of the other time. And on weekends, we have a good classical lineup. So stay tuned to WRUR. Step aside in real alternative music. And my buddy here is Mercyful Mike, who does the Metal Force show on Thursday, although it will be sometime in the next few days, it will be transferred to an evening slot. Right now, he's on the phone lining up a world tour with Todd. Oh, no, he's not anymore. That's right. When I go on the air, he gets cut off. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, Todd. Anyway, we started off the show this afternoon here in the UK, where all of this began. My own personal feeling anyway, back in the 1970s with Black Sabbath, and these are 3 young bands from the UK. We started off with Virus and their first real album, as they call it, Force Recon, and we heard Testify to Me. After that, we heard an excellent album from 1986, Onslaught. The album is called The Force 1986, and we heard Demoniac, and we just ended up with For Evil Done from the At the Edge of Damnation album by Deathwish, who also have a new album out, I believe, but I don't think I have it. We're now going to move on to the continent and go to West Germany, where we're going to hear from some West German bands, and we're going to start off here with Journey to Oblivion, Rising from the Sea album of Exhumer. And you're listening to WRUR FM 88.5, and this is the Sonic Insanity Show, a special show here this summer along with the Metal Force. And we are taking phone calls. We're not really taking requests because I doubt if I would have the albums here, but I'd like to hear from anybody out there that is listening. And our number here is 275-9787, or if you have good eyesight, you can find 275 WRUR on your telephone dial. And by the way, Todd, you can call back now. We found a pen, and Mike is waiting to line up his world tour and get this thing going here. And here is here is Mercyful Mike.
Ribbit.
That was the real Mercyful Mike. That's his actual voice. The voice that he normally uses on his show is sort of a put-on voice. But that's his real voice, and he's very happy this time of year. The insect population, I guess, Mike, has gone up quite a bit, right? Yeah, with this weather and and all that, and there's a lot of flying insects around. Now, I saw Mike out in the backyard the other night. He was full. He was picking them off right in the air, I'll tell you. I sat out there with my shirt off, and I didn't get stung once. I think he cleaned out the whole yard, really. He got just about all of them. Well, we heard 2 bands from West Germany, Exhumer, from their Rising from the Sea album, Journey to Oblivion, and one of my favorite bands of all time, Creator, and that was from their Terrible Certainty album, which is not a terrible album at all. In fact, it's very good, but it's lost a lot of the edge that rough edge that we heard in some of their earlier works, but it's a very high class of metal, and I think West Germany is doing the best of any part of the free world today. We're now going to stay in West Germany for a while, and we're going to hear from Vendetta, Go and Live, Stay and Die, Revolution Command. Yes, and we're back on the air here. And that was... What was that? Anyway, forgot what we were listening to. Oh, we were in West Germany. That's right. I finished up that West German set with Vendetta. That was off of their first album. Their second album is good. It's a little bit too commercial for me, though. But this was their first album, Go and Live, Stay and Die. And the title of that tune was Revolution Command. And we're going to... have a real great Tuesday afternoon here, and we're going to go to some venues and hear some good live tunes, and I'm going to have a whole block here of some good live stuff. We're going to start off with a band called Annihilator out of Texas. You may have caught their first EP on Wild Rag Records last year, and this is their second one, which I guess is still an EP, really, but it's on blue vinyl, so you can't go wrong there. The title of this tune is Annihilator. It's from the album Annihilator, and the band is Annihilator, so you can't forget that. This is a live track from a tune from their first album, and this is going to start off our live set, and then we're going to go back to West Germany and catch a real long tune with a beautiful, beautiful set done by Sodom, Obsessed by Cruelty, from their Mortal Way of Live album. And then we're going to, of course, it wouldn't be a metal show without Slayer and Metallica. Well, we're going to have Slayer anyway, but this is going to be the first metal show in history without any Metallica. Anyway, here is Annihilator. I have no idea where it was recorded, probably somewhere in Texas. And so, yeah, with cactuses and all that kind of stuff, Dallas Cowgirls or something or other. So here's Annihilator, live track, and its title of the tune is Annihilator. Out on the water, a storm can be more than an inconvenience. It can capsize your boat and threaten your life. The National Safe Boating Council has this special weather warning for boaters. Check the forecast before you leave shore, and if it's safe to venture out, keep your radio on and watch the sky for signs of storms over the horizon. And while you have your radio on, if you're out there on Tuesday afternoon next week, on the 4th of July, while you're checking on the weather, you might also try to tune in WRUR 88.5. I'll be on next week on 4th of July in the afternoon from 2 to 4, so spread the word. If you're at the beach or at a party or out on the lake, you should be able to pick us up out on the lake. We should get pretty good pickup out there, and we do get pretty good pickup going to the west of Rochester all the way to Batavia. And south, I'm not too sure, but I think we ought to maybe get down to Canisius anyway, but I'm not sure about that. If somebody is out there listening, give us a call here at 275-9787. And we just heard long set there from Sodom from West Germany, from their Mortal Way of Live album, and that was their live version of Obsessed by Cruelty. Now we're going to go back to 1984. And I remember when this band came to Rochester back in 1984, they couldn't find a place to play. There was some poser band playing in one of the local clubs, and they wouldn't cancel out and let Slayer take the stage. So they actually came to Rochester, spent a night here, and never even had a chance to play here. And it was just a few days earlier, as I understand it, that they made this recording in New York City to a very enthusiastic crowd. They were going around the country trying to let people hear their stuff and find out who they are and what kind of stuff they played, and they got a real good reception in some places and absolutely no reception in other places. Well, of course, they did come back to Rochester several times after that, too. Excellent response. This is from the Live Undead EP, picture disc rather, Show No Mercy. Slayer, yeah, I'll go for some more Slayer from Hell Awaits. At dawn they sleep. Dan, take a shower. I can smell you over the phone. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm glad to see our favorite fan has arrived, Mike. Our favorite fan just called. Yes, our favorite fan is listening. Just got home from work. Yeah, that was actually the end of a live set, although that tune wasn't live. At dawn they sleep, but I needed to hear some more Slayer after hearing the live show from New York back in 1984, Show No Mercy. The next block here on Sonic Insanity Full Thrash, I'm going to try to bring up some real good classical stuff. This stuff really is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about some beautiful, beautiful metal. We're going to hear from 3 bands. It's kind of a long set, but I think you'll really enjoy it. We're going to hear from Cacophony, the Speed Metal Symphony, which is total classic guitar work. We're going to hear from Blind Illusion, and we're going to hear from a band from West Germany that I happen to like a lot called Assassin. And after that, I'm not too sure what we're going to do. I think we're going to change some sets around here, and Mike's got some stuff to talk about. And right now, this is when you want to put on your digital headphones, sit back and turn down the lights, and daydream. Cacophony Speed Metal Symphony. Here's a National Safe Boating Council tip for boaters and fishermen. Before you leave home, check your radio for the latest weather forecast and know before you go. When you're out on the water, keep your ear on the radio and your eye on the sky. And a lot of people will be out boating a week from today and the 4th of July. See if you can pick us up out on your radio while you're listening to the weather. You can also switch over every now and then. I'm going to be on the air next week from 2 to 4 on the Sonic Insanity Show here all summer long. And also starting sometime this week, maybe next week, hopefully later this week, will be the Metal Force here on WRUR, our second summer specialty show in underground metal. We heard Speed Metal Symphony from the Cacophony album. I really like that one a lot, so I had to get that one in there, even though it was fairly long. We're going to move right now into tune Kamikaze from the Sane Asylum album of Blind Illusion, and we're hoping to hear something new from these guys almost any day now. This album came out last year, although most of the material, some of it goes back about 10 years, but it's excellent material, and you can hear the guitar playing in here of Larry Lalonde, formerly of Possessed. This is Blind Illusion. Yes, and we're here with the Sonic Insanity Show on WRUR 88.5, and this is Ron Pappert. And if you have any comments to make about the show, I'd be more than happy to listen to you and call up here. The number is 275-9787. And what we heard was a whole block there of some real good metal. Just excellent stuff, totally classic metal as far as I'm concerned. And we ended up with Nemesis from a West German band, their Assassin, and that was their first album, The Upcoming Terror. Their second album, The Interstellar Experience, I'll try to play the next time. They had a few band member changes, but the second album is just as good as the first one. Before that, we heard Kamikaze from the Blind Illusion LP called The Sane Asylum, and we should be getting a new album from those San Francisco people soon. And before that, we heard Speed Metal Symphony from the Speed Metal Symphony album of Cacophony. And I'm going to turn the show over now to Mercyful Mike, who is going to play some good stuff here. And I think we're all queued up to Homicidal Breath from my buddies in Toronto, Sacrifice.
Hello, Rochester. You're here with Mercyful Mike, sitting in for like a break here. The Evil Eye has let me step in for a moment and actually do a break, and I'm privileged here on what's Sonic Insanity. We were like goofy around talking about the Sonic Insanity Metal Force Split LP now in stores, but oh well, it's just a dream. That right there was Dark Angel, a tune called The Death of Innocence, and before that we heard the band Death and a song called Left to Die, and both of those songs and both of those bands are on a video called Ultimate Revenge 2. If you remember Ultimate Revenge, the first one that had Venom Slayer and Exodus on it, and everybody raged about it. Now there's a part 2, and it's got Death on there, 4 Death tunes, 4 Dark Angel tunes. There's a couple, let's see who else is on there. Forbidden's on there, Faith or Fear, which is a new and uprising band, and of course Raven. But the first 4 bands are the ones that we want back because we don't even care about a Raven. Forbidden, I'm a little disappointed with the tunes they chose for the Forbidden, only because they chose Feel No Pain, As Good as Dead, Through Eyes of Glass, Chalice of Blood, but that last tune's probably the only good one. I'd rather they'd have put like Forbidden Evil and March into Fire on there, but they didn't. And Fade Through Fear is a new band. Death and Dark Angel. Dark Angel's got the best 4 songs. Their best 4 are on here. Death of Innocence, The Burning of Sodom, Death of Certain Life Is Not, and No One Answers. Awesome. And then, of course, there's Raven. But anyway, I'm gonna watch that tonight. I'm probably gonna get to check out what that's like. And next, when the Metal Force comes back on, I'll let you know how it was. We started that block off with Sacrifice, some Canadian thrash, and some good. In fact, that's kind of weird because like 2 of those 3 bands, Ron knows, and one of the I've met. Actually, I know him too because I met them both too. Sacrifice and Death. Me and Ron both. Ron's known the guys for years, and I had a chance to interview them both on the old Metal Force. So and they're both really cool guys. And we heard Homicidal Breath. That's coming off their first LP, Torment in Fire. They're like their debut, and it's like really weird. It's a cool album only because like the 2 guitarists aren't quite tuned to each other, and it kind of gives them their own distinct sound there. Where do we go? We're going to a new band. They put out a mini LP last year. It was called the Annihilator mini LP, and I personally did not care for it, only because the production was so bad, and the guys were off when they're playing, and the singer I thought was really bogus, but they have another Annihilator mini LP, and it's the 1989 one, and this time there's 2, on side 2, there's 2 live songs that were both on the first mini LP, and there's 3 brand new songs, and the band's called Annihilator. They're out of Texas, and this time they kicked out the singer, and now the guitarist sings, so it's really cool stuff, and yeah, we played this tune earlier in the show. We played a live song. We played the song Annihilator by Annihilator with the album Annihilator. Oh, whoa, pretty catchy there. So this time we're going to play a song called Filicide. And I don't know what that means. I know sides are killing something. So I guess when you kill fills or something, you know, when you fill up a hole and you kill the hole. I don't know. I have no idea. Your guess is as good as mine. So this is the first track. This is some total death metal. So just sit back and relax and just totally get into this because this stuff is really awesome. And if you want, you can check it down at the Hog. You can pick it up. It's down there, $5.98. That's all. So here you go. This is a tune called Filicide here on Sonic Insanity. Oink, oink. And you're back here with Mercyful Mike as we suddenly changed our mind on what song we want to play next. We got to get a request out. So Ron's frantically running around behind me, grabbing albums, running. I can feel the breeze from him running back and forth. That was a band called Annihilator out of Texas, and a song called Filicide off their new mini LP. It's kind of really confusing because they now have 2 EPs, and they're both just called Annihilator, so that could be very confusing. Just like one's 1988 and one is 1989, man. Make sure you get the 89 one. It's not even really an album. The sleeve is just like a flexible thing, and it's got a picture like this Rambo type of guy holding some guy's head, and there's like people all chopped up on the ground. Oh yeah, just your average nice homely picture. It makes you just think about your home sweet home ideas and all that happy stuff. And so I think, are we queued up? I think we're set. Oh, maybe not. Ron's still working on it. So Ron's working on it, so I'm just going to talk in here. Out on the water, a storm can be more than an inconvenience. It can capsize your boat, and we already read this one. A National Safe Boating Council tip for boaters and fishermen. Before you leave home, check your radio for the latest weather forecast and know before you go. When you're out on the water, keep your ear on the radio and your eye on the sky. And if you're out there on the boat, like Ron said before, you can tune into 88.5 and see if you can pick us up. And I think Ron's set now. You're set, aren't you, Ron? All right, well, we're going to take a while, I guess. So, all right, Ron's going to talk here.
Right.
And over to Ron, the evil eye.
Okay, this is, well, first of all, I want to thank everybody here at WRUR, especially Rob Sikora, for giving myself, Ron Pappert, and Mercyful Mike a chance to do some metal shows on WRUR this summer. We really appreciate it. And this show is completely unannounced. In fact, I found out about it last night, but we had some fans out there listening, and it's not in the tradition here at WRUR to mention people's names over the air, but for the first show, I definitely want to thank our first fans, Steve, who was going through the dial and found the show and stayed with us and wants us on the air all summer. Steve, way to go. Steve. And Also to Dan the Slam, who I guess is Dan. He's out of the shower by now, probably. And to Todd and Gary.
Gary.
of Raid. And Aaron, I don't know. Aaron may still be reading the comic book, the new Metallica comic book. If you haven't picked it up yet, there's a comic series now called Rock and Roll Comics, and the second issue is out and it's on Metallica. It just came out, and Todd and I picked it up over the weekend. Anyway, thanks for listening, guys. And we're going to try to have a show in the evening sometime. We'll try to let you know as well as we can. And far enough in advance, and we're going to try to have a show Thursday, also Thursday afternoon from 2 to 4, but we're not too sure about that either. So anyway, I want to end the show here today with one of my favorite tunes from all time, and before we get back to real life here at WRUR with Radio 1.
Play.
And this is well, I guess it expresses my whole idea about metal and what it means. It's from my friends in Montreal.
Montreal.
Voivod. I'm wearing their T-shirt.
Voivod.
And,
tripped out metal.
I'm wearing a T-shirt that John Schoen made for me in high school a few years ago. And, hey, by the way, you know, when you guys are sitting around a study hall in high school, for crying out loud, don't waste your study halls. It's one of the best times in your life to sit down and write good lyrics for good tunes. Don't waste your study halls, and draw pictures, make posters for WRUR 88.5 and the Metal Force and Sonic Insanity. Don't waste those study halls. And if you're going to summer school, they're going to let you pass anyway, so you don't have to do any studying. You know that. So, man, come on, when you go to your room and you're sitting down doing your homework, forget the homework, man. Do some good artwork, man. Do some good lyrics. Come on, support us. And we'll catch you next week on the 4th of July. And to the death.
Voivod. Ribbit. There you go, Rochester. Last tune of the night. Or the day. Or today. Or this afternoon. Or just the rest of my life. The rest of my confused life. The rest of whatever life I may have left after I get off this mic.